I pick up the phone and all the boys are, yo, how you going? How you going? And I'm like, yo, how are you boys going? They said, yo, where'd you get into uni? And I got in the same uni as one of them, and they literally they're like, yo, let's fucking go. They gassed up, bro. I was like, that felt fucking amazing, right? We were gonna go to the same uni, and my mate was like, yeah, bro, if you're coming, we'll hang out, we'll do all this shit. I said, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna come this year, I'm on a gap year, but, you guys can show me around when I'm back. He's like, yeah, I'd love to do that. Dude, I literally only knew this guy for like a short period of time. I met him, I was in Sydney for 2 weeks in November, and that's when I made friends with this guy. I met them so quickly, and I'm gonna teach you the 3 steps that I did so that you can replicate this outcome, make really good friends you mess with, and meet, like, even if you're in a new place, like, it can help you a lot. I'm Finn, I help young guys make great friends, and by the way, I have a lot more content on this topic, so if you're interested in that, subscribe. Let me get into it, right? The first point is, you gotta understand why the fuck you aren't making progress. I'll tell you why, right? I remember I was chilling in my room at boarding school a while ago, when I was still there. Basically, I didn't have that much motion. I didn't really talk to too many girls. I'd kind of just like stay in my own lane, especially the last few months of school when I was working on my final exams and I was studying. Earlier in the year, I was a bit more social, but it was mainly outside of school. I ended up one night, I asked myself, because I was pissed, I was like, why have I got no like dating life? And I'm gonna compare this to like making friends in a second. I asked myself, have I even gone up to 5 girls lately? Like, I haven't gone and started a conversation with 5 new girls lately. I've hardly even started a conversation with 5 girls I already know. I went out this one night and I had this, like, this was a month later when I finished school, and I had this in mind. Okay, I'm not gonna allow myself to be mad if I'm not like having a crazy dating life, if I'm not meeting girls who like me, if I haven't even fucking asked like a few girls, oh hey, how are you, nice to meet you. If I haven't even asked that, then I'm not even gonna consider that I'm not worthy enough, that I can't like meet girls. I'm not gonna beat myself up. At this gym when I was in Sydney, it was a different trip, so I know that might get a little confusing, but just a completely different time. I was in Sydney for a week. I went there and I was completely like, I had no mates, like I literally didn't know a single person. And I went to this gym, and when I was there was a sauna. Every time I'd finish my workout, I'd go to the sauna, and I just put in an effort to start a conversation with a few people every time I went to the sauna. Within 1 week, I had made like a bunch of new mates. Not really like mates, but guys, you say, hey, how you going to in the gym. There was this one guy I clicked with really well. We were having a great laugh in the sauna. After like day 4 or something, you would be so surprised at how many great people, super nice people you meet when you're actually trying. When you actually put in the effort to go and meet new people, it will blow your mind the quality of people that you meet. The next step I want you to know is about having a sick personality. There's this event every year called the Hong Kong Sevens. It's like a rugby event, and I was walking up the stairs. You know how the chairs are on your side, on your left and on your right, and there's a staircase with like a little railing. I was walking up, and I just hear someone go, Finn, how you going? And I was like, who is this, right? Who knows my name and screaming it that loud? I walked up the stairs, I went to say hi. He's the most hyped dude I've ever met in my entire life. This guy is one of my really fucking good mates now, because I loved hanging out with him this night. Even though I had my friends around, there was like a girl that I was talking to, all of this shit. I just didn't want to fucking hang out with him. I was hanging out with this random dude. I mean, we knew each other, we had a lot of mutuals, but like he just had such good energy. I ended up hanging out with him till like 3 a.m. that night. It was such a memorable night, and the next day I called him, I was like, bruh, I know we said we were gonna go to the beach today, but I'm low-key not feeling it, bro. Because this is the first time I drank in like a year, because I was having such a good time. Genuinely, this guy, he wasn't like super jacked or anything, super good looking. And at this time, like I know that he's working harder on himself now. He's like, I respect him. But I know that at this time, he was kind of doing a whole lot of fuck all. Like, we were young at this time, right? Maybe 16, 17. Like the guys who are 16, 17 who are kind of popular, they're just really fun to be around, but like they're not really working on anything. He was one of those guys, and I was one of those guys who only hung out with people who are super locked in. But with him, I was happy to be around him because he just had such good energy. Sometimes, like, let's say you're a bum. Let's say you have nothing going for yourself. If you can just like bring the best energy as possible. I'm not saying he's a bum or anything, right? But like, I just don't want to be disrespectful. He didn't really have like any unique thing going for him. He was just like an average guy, right? I just really liked his energy, and we ended up becoming super close just because of that. I wouldn't, like, he's definitely working on himself now, which is why we've gotten even closer. But when you're meeting new people, probably the most important factor is the energy that you bring. For a while, you know, when you meet somebody's family, they're like, oh, so what are you doing? Are you at school? That would be like the average small talk. Now, when someone asks me, oh, what do I do? I just say, yeah, bro, I have a YouTube channel. That's what I say. Because it's what I'm doing. It's what I'm spending my time on. I'm answering honestly. That allowed me, when I started like saying, yeah, I have a YouTube channel, you'd be so surprised at how many more people who I could resonate with that I met. I started to meet guys who, this guy's an influencer, this guy's a travel influencer, this guy's got 80K followers on Insta, this guy wants like, oh, we should do a podcast or some shit. Like, all of these opportunities, they just come out of nowhere when you start being honest. It's like, imagine if you wanted to get a job and you were a really friendly guy, you were fun to talk to, you were really nice, and somebody asks you, so what are you doing? And you say, oh, at the moment, I'm trying to find a bartending job. I did this on one night when I was like thinking about getting a bartending job, and I instantly found one guy who's like, oh, my dad knows a guy and I can put you on. Literally within one night, there was a guy who had a potential job offer for me. So I'm telling you, bro, when you go around and you speak about what you're actually doing in life, it opens up some crazy opportunities. And adding on to that, I want to share another point. There was this girl that I'm friends with. We were chilling, we were sitting down, like there was this big social gathering, so we were sitting down for a second talking about something while we waited for our friend. And I said, we were talking about like meeting a guy, meeting like a partner or something. And I told her this really like vulnerable story, like this crazy fucking story, something I would only tell to the boys, right? I don't know why I did it, and this time it made, like, from that point of view, there was no reason for me to tell her that. But what shocked me the most is that she responded so warm to it. She was like, wow, that's so nice. Like, that's such a sweet story. Bro, I just told you a story about me being like absolutely like a fucking dickhead, right? And she was like, oh, that's really nice, because I told her like the outcome of how I like kind of changed after I met this one person. Even though it's a bit counterintuitive to be a little bit vulnerable, it's a bit counterintuitive to share bad parts about your life. It's actually what allows people to connect with you. And even when you tell someone something that's a bit vulnerable and they judge you for it, they may judge you, but low-key, when they're judging you, now they're feeling more comfortable to speak to you. And if they're not saying it out loud, I don't see the problem. The truth is, everybody has already judged you. If you don't speak to anybody, if you don't speak to somebody, they've already judged you as a quiet guy. So we need to stop worrying so much about, oh, he's judging me, or what will he think about me? And I'm like the king of micromanaging people's perceptions of me. I'm the king of like sharing specific parts of my life with some people, specific parts of my life with other people, so that I can like resonate with them the best. I love doing that because I want people to like me, and I'm adaptable. I understand how to do it. But you're just not going to end up with people you like around you. And I understand this is a lot harder at school, but it's not actually a lot harder at school, because when you're at school, it's harder at school if you're only trying to meet friends from school. That's when the being a bit adaptable thing is good. That's probably why I learned it. But the second school finishes at 3 p.m. or whatever, you leave school, that shit doesn't matter anymore until the next day at 8 a.m. when you have school again. Dude, the second you leave school and you go to a coffee shop, new mindset, I want you to remember this, be extremely polarizing. I actually, I think being polarizing is amazing advice, but for some reason, when you're at school, I think you should still do this, but be a little bit more calculated with it, if you're capable of that. If you're the kind of guy who, you have social skills, but you're just like not getting out of your bubble, you've like had good friends at your old school, you're at a new school, then maybe you can like pull off being quite authentic. But then if there's like some crazy story of some fucking wild shit you did, like, You know, you're not gonna tell a new girl that you meet at your new school, oh yeah, like for example, oh yeah, I fucked 7 bitches. Like, you're not gonna say some crazy story, right? So at school, have social intuition. Outside of school, bro, whoever you are, just be fully honest with it. Because let's say you're an alcoholic, right? This is just a full example. And you are out and you are at a coffee shop and someone says, oh, what did you do last Saturday? You can say, oh, to be honest, bro, I drank again. Like, I kind of didn't want to drink, but I got pulled into it. When you, like, this is an example, right? No matter how dumb what's going on in your life is, if you say this to people, a lot more people than you realize are going to resonate with it. Even if it's video games, oh, I love Valorant, I love COD. Whatever it is, when you speak about it, you're giving somebody a crazy opportunity to resonate with you. If you share enough close details about yourself, like 5 things, oh, I like tennis, I like cricket, I had a problem with smoking, I can't think of 5 things off the top of my head, right? I'm not saying this is for me, I'm just saying in general. But that's 5 opportunities for someone to resonate with you, and I guarantee they're gonna resonate with you on a few of those. Because almost every guy has had a phase where, oh, I drank a bit too much this night. So they can say, oh, like, okay, I don't really understand what it's like to be an alcoholic, but I remember when I drank the first night, it was super fun. Like, when you start speaking super honestly, but you're just a super kind guy, when you meet a kind guy as well, which may be like 1 in 10 people, then they're gonna be like, yo bro, I can fully relate to that, I can help you out, this is how I stopped drinking, and you get the most crazy value. That's one of the good things about being polarizing, which means you're extreme, you show everything that's going on in your life. It works outside of school so well, because when you don't need to see somebody again, if they don't fuck with you, they're not gonna be disrespectful, A, unless you're disrespectful. So like, no one's ever really gonna be disrespectful to you. And B, if they do judge you or they don't really like you as a person, you've just saved yourself time instead of trying to become friends with a guy who was never gonna like you. At the end of the day, we're only gonna resonate with like 5% of people and be super close with them, and then the rest it's gonna be shallow. So we might as well, if we know we're never gonna see somebody again, we might as well be 100% polarizing, because that brings the 5% chance of them liking you to a 20% chance. Even though they might not like you as much, but fuck it, who cares, right? You're literally never gonna see them again. By the way, I have a lot more videos. I wanted to keep this section brief because I really wanted to emphasize the importance of being truly authentic, talking about what what is on your mind, what you're going through. But I have other videos. I think there's a video on like how to have a likable person or personality that people can't help but like. That video is on my channel. Watch it at the end of this video, subscribe, because that goes a lot more in depth into like the personality. I have a lot of videos and there's a lot of information about social skills, so click on that if you're interested. Now, the third step that I have, it seems kind of obvious, right? But I'm gonna get into it. It's basically you wanna have as many events planned as possible. Let me get into this, right? There's detail behind it. I was speaking to my friend, he's sitting on my left, we're chilling at this little seat where you can like see the road, but we're just kind of sitting there talking, right? And I say, bro, like, you're on a gap year in Hong Kong like me too, right? How are you meeting people? Because I've seen this guy, he has a lot of mates, he's always out and about. I said, yo, like, how'd you do that? Like, where'd you meet your friends? He said, bro, rugby. So the first point that I need to make is, from step 2, I used the authentic thing. Like, oh, I have mates, because I have mates in Hong Kong, but like, I was wondering, oh, where are you meeting like all these new guys? Because I've been kind of like staying to my own circle a little bit, by choice for me, because I am just genuinely happy to be back with my friends. I have a big social life. But like, I want to grow and be more social. That's why I was looking into it, and now I'm doing it. I'm going one of the places he suggested. Yeah, I'm rambling, right? The whole point is, I was authentic. Oh, I want to meet new people. And I spoke about that with him. And then he gave me this really insightful opinion. At rugby, at this rugby club, there's like 10 different teams. Everybody there goes out to these events. You meet so many people. And he was telling me all of this. And I was like, yo, you know what? I can see that, bro. He told me, go to play rugby at this club in Hong Kong. If you have these conversations with other people, like, oh, where should I go? I'm trying to meet some new people. They're going to give you their answers as well. But at the end of the day, it's mainly about who you want to be friends with. Do I want to be friends with a bunch of rugby lads? I wouldn't mind it, bro. I'm very open to meeting new people. Except I don't play rugby. I don't want to play rugby. I got really badly injured before. So instead, the guys that I can resonate a bit more with, the boxing boys. I joined a boxing gym. If I was like a bit nerdier, a philosophy club, chess club, I mean, at school or like uni, some unis will have amazing opportunities for clubs. I don't want to, like, if you're scared, oh, this guy's going to make fun of me if I go to a chess club or whatever, bro, ignore it. Even the most, the most impressive popular guys, the guys who are actually popular, I've always seen this, the ones that everyone actually really likes, they're the guys who, they do their own thing, and their own thing isn't disrespectful to anybody. For example, there might be this really athletic guy who goes to math tutoring after school. He's comfortable with who he is, so he goes and he's happy. He's not scared, oh, if someone makes fun of him, oh, you're going to math tutoring, right? This guy doesn't give a fuck. This guy goes to his math tutoring, he puts in effort in class, but he still has loads of friends who like him. He might still have a girlfriend. These kinds of popular guys, really, like, genuinely popular guys, what I mean by that isn't, oh, everybody likes him. It means he has quite a few good friends, and in general, people show him respect. The cheat code for being shown respect by a lot of people is be, like, in good shape or be in, like, a good sports team, and people instantly respect you. I feel like respect and likability are two entirely different things, but it's hard to be liked if you can't be respected, because that's when, especially in school, that's when people start, like, taking the piss. I mean, it depends where you are. I went to a school in Australia where it's like a lot more intense than a boarding school. But I guess in the US, it's also a lot more chill. Like, people aren't going to be in your hair too much. So the point that I'm making here is pick your own journey and don't be embarrassed about it. Speak about it honestly. I'm linking this back to point 2. If you like chess, go to the chess club. And then when you're in a conversation, say with like someone, you say, yeah, I was playing chess earlier today. Just randomly bring it up. Also, a little side point, always just randomly bring something up. Like, just talk about yourself. If you're in a conversation, you meet somebody new, just start telling a story. Yeah, I was at this chess club earlier today, and I learned this new move. You ever play chess? And then you can have it. You don't need a ramble if they don't want to hear it, but like, if they're interested, then you can tell them. Like, especially if they play chess and you start talking about it, that's a connection right there. Making friends can be like simplified down to that. Although I understand like social anxiety, how these beliefs form, where to go. I understand this whole like thing is just extremely overwhelming. So if you want my personal help, the link in the description, it will give you the step-by-step guide on how to do this. But I want to get on to my next point. There's this guy who I haven't really like hung out with him much. I've seen him once on a night out. And we just like, I respond to a few of his stories. I really fuck with it. He like seems like he's doing well. We've got a few mutuals. And I just invited this motherfucker. I was like, yo, bro, you trying to go to the races? He's like, I bet. Let's go. Races is like horse races in Hong Kong. A lot of people my age go. I just invited him like, yo, let's go to this. He was down. The amount of people you ask to do something who, like, you'd be surprised how many people are down and like go hang out with you. If you're just like a nice dude, at the end of the day, if you're a nice guy, you're kind of funny, you bring really good energy, and you know, you've been working on your social skills for a while. Even if you have none of those things, it's fine, because if you work on your social skills and your social life, eventually you're gonna have that anyways. If you're on that journey, you're gonna end up meeting a bunch of really good people. And you need like one or two like tiny things people respect about you. But even if, as I said, with the story of the guy who was just super hype, if you don't have anything going for you and you're just super hype, I think that's just enough. Like, you don't need to have everything going for you. But I do recommend, what I noticed the biggest thing is, if you go to the gym, you can connect with like 80% of guys. Like, right there and then. Just go to the gym, and that's like a cheat code to, like, bro, every single guy that I know nowadays goes to the gym. Like, who doesn't go to the gym? Or who hasn't gone to the gym before? So, I think that's the one thing that you should have. It makes people respect you more, and it means you can resonate and have a conversation with pretty much any guy you meet, and a lot of girls you meet. The other week, I was scared to go to the races by myself. This was last week. I ended up having a fucking amazing time, by the way. But the whole point is, right before I was gonna go, I was like stressing. Even tonight, because like one of my friends pulled out on coming to hang out with me. He's like overseas now, he had to go overseas. It's not like, okay, first of all, side point, don't take personal offense to when people cancel on you. It's like, people have their own lives, bro. That doesn't mean they instantly don't like you. Overall, completely different point. Don't always assume that the world is against you. Try and assume that everything is in your favor all the time, because it honestly is. People aren't as mean as you think. It's really in your mind. And your world is a reflection of your mind anyways. I don't want to waffle on too much about that point, but I was messaging a friend, and since I hadn't gone out by myself in a long time, I don't need to anymore, right? Like, I already have good friends. It's just easier for me to stay home. But my friend was saying, yo, bro, just go out to the races and just say like, hey, how you guys going? You know, like, say hi to some random motherfuckers that look your age. And then, you know, you can socialize, say, oh, you want to put a little bet on the horse? You like put $20 on a horse, 20 Hong Kong dollars, like fucking 4 Aussie dollars, like not much, right? Put a little bit of money on the horse race, and then like meet some new people. I went by myself. I was sick, so it like made it a lot harder, but even when I was sick, I still hung out with I bumped into some school friends I hadn't seen in a while. I saw a lot of mates out, I met some new people. And on top of that, bro, the week after, then after that, I went out again by myself. This time was more of a like clubbing environment. I had the most fucking unreal fun time ever. And it was literally just me going out by myself. But when you get when you're comfortable to just sit by yourself, chill by yourself. And to be fair, when someone had said, oh, who are you here with? I just said, oh yeah, like some of my friends are here. Like, I didn't overthink it too much. I mean, I feel like that's one of the, I don't want to ramble on about that, but I feel like if you're out by yourself, why not say, yeah, I've got a friend or two here. Like, you don't want to, it just helps when people first meet you, they're getting their first impression of you, that you don't always say you're out by yourself, but it's not a big deal at all, bro. And maybe it's just my insecurity. Anyways, I went, and I ended up hanging out with this girl till like 7 a.m. I met like a fucking ton of dudes. I probably should have kept better in contact with them, because I just forgot everything that happened or I didn't forget, but I didn't like reach out to any. Normally on the night out, after I meet people, say, hey, nice to meet you, bro. Do that to like 5 or 10 people. The next time you go, you know, like a bunch of new guys. I really recommend that. Especially the race is good because it's like a place I can go be social. I don't really need a drink, because I don't want to always be drinking, right? I'm quite a locked in guy. And I had an amazing experience, and now this week when I go to the races, I know like a bunch more people that I saw on the weekend, or I saw on like the last night out, who I can say hi to again. If you want my step-by-step guide, help, you know, you can speak to me on a call. I promise you, you will live a life quality so unbelievably high, so unbelievably different to what it is like now. You'll have attention from girls, you will trust being around your friends, they will love you, and if you're lonely right now, well, that problem is obviously going to be solved if you be more social, and opportunities will come your way. If you want my help doing this, it's really fucking helped me, and I swear to God, I know what I've been talking about. I've been doing this for a long time. Click the link in the description. I'll fucking change your life, bro. Have a great day. Oh, and subscribe and like, bro.